this computer. All right, we are recording. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Welcome to the Glorious Gold Call. I've done some gold trainings in the past that I have named Going for Gold, so I wanted to name this one different because for a lot of you, to hit gold will be a glorious day. So that's what I decided to call it. First of all, you guys, being a silver ambassador is a big deal. So don't ever discount being a silver ambassador, ever, ever, ever. Silver ambassadors are in the top 7.79% of all ambassadors in Plexus. So there's not that many people that even go silver, much less the other. What do you need? Oh, okay. There are not very many, sorry y'all, single mom in it tonight. Dad's at the fire station. Okay, go, watch a movie, shut the door. Shut the door. So there are just not very many people that hit even silver. So to be working toward gold, you are putting yourself in an even smaller bracket of people. Gold ambassadors are in the top 1.77% of all the ambassadors in Plexus. Y'all, that's less than 2% of all the ambassadors ever hit gold. So the fact that you're even working toward that, that's a huge thing. So pat yourself on the back a little bit for taking the steps to work your business and really make this thing happen. So this call is not going to be, how do I go gold? There are a bazillion videos on the compensation plan. I have videos on my team page on the compensation plan. You essentially need 20 active ambassadors in your downline to hit that gold rank advancement. Most of you know that. Most of you have been working your business and trying to make that happen since the day you turned silver. So I'm not going to get into those nitty-gritty details. This call is going to be a little bit different because we know the things we need to have in order to hit that gold rank. But do we know the things we need to do? And that's kind of what I'm going to focus on here. So the three areas that I'm going to focus on in this call are action, mindset, and method. Action, mindset, and method. We must work hard to increase our momentum. And that's where the golden ticket is. Do you guys know Willy Wonka? Find the golden ticket. The golden ticket is in momentum. John Maxwell says that momentum, he calls it Mo, momentum is a leader's best friend. So we're going to start talking about action. So here's 3 questions that I have for you, and I want you to ask yourself this. Am I happy with my current pace? Am I happy with the current pace that I'm moving at to hit gold? Question 2 is, am I in management mode? And by management mode, I mean, are we too busy worrying about what the people in our downline are doing? We playing manager, or are we playing worker bee? And then the third question is, am I working my list? And if we don't know, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say list, your list is your Frank's list. Most of you, I think on this call, have done boot camp before. And so I know you have a list. Now, whether your list is outdated or old or needs some revising, that's a different story. But if that's the case, then that's something that needs to happen. But you have to be working your list. So if you answered no, I'm not happy with my current pace, or no, I'm not working my list, or yeah, I might be in management mode, there are some changes that we need to make. We need to increase our speed, and we need to increase our effort. Don't get comfortable doing the minimum. You guys, we talk about IPA, income producing activity. We talk about 531. That's the minimum. Don't get comfortable doing the minimum. Go beyond the minimum. Comfortable is where complacency lives. Comfortable is where complacency lives and success dies. Get uncomfortable. So think about this scenario, and it's a little bit of a visual. So you have this like gigantic rock, and I'm talking like this rock is big, and you have this hill that you have to get this rock up and over. So are you gonna like just take it a step at a time, slowly pushing this rock up this hill? No, because when you get kind of towards the crest of that hill, it's gonna get real hard, and the slower you go, the harder it's gonna be. But if you start running back here where it's a little bit more flat, and you have some momentum going when you hit that hill, it's going to go up and over that crest way easier. Same thing when you're playing skee ball. You guys know what I'm talking about, skee ball, where it's like bowling and darts or whatever, where you throw the ball down the chute and it jumps up into the little target. Well, if you barely roll the ball, it doesn't even make it up the incline. It just rolls back down. So the faster we're working toward this goal, the easier it's going to be to get up and over that hump. And the sad thing is, you guys, a lot of people quit before they get up and over that hump. And that's not what we want. So we want to work on our action, get our momentum going, and get up and over that hump so we can start looking toward our next goal. So obviously the key here is momentum. You have to get momentum going to get your boulder rolling. Action is the causation of change. Action is the causation of change. The result you are after is a change from what you have right now. Think about those words. The result that you're going after is a change from what you have at this current moment. So action is the causation of change. Action is going to have to happen in order for that change or that thing that you want to become yours. So what action needs to happen? Working your list. That's the first thing that has to happen, you guys. Working your list. If you haven't updated your list this month, you need to update your list. Maybe your list is 6 months old or 8 months old. Toss that list in the trash. Start new. Fresh outlook, fresh everything. Start new and start working your list. Make notes in the margins. Use your calendar. Use your calendar and your list together so you know when you're going to follow up with these people or when you're going to reach out to these people or who you're going to reach out to next. Maybe at night before bed, before you lay down, have your calendar and your list on your nightstand. Open tomorrow's day, your to-do list, and write down the names of the people that you're going to reach out to tomorrow. Figure out a system that works for you and do it. Do your IPA. Think about increasing your numbers. Instead of doing 5-3-1, think about doing 10-5-3, or think about doing 20-10-5. You guys, this is a numbers game. The people that reach out to the most potentials are the people that are going to hit the rank advancement. We all are busy, you guys. We are all busy, and we're all busy in our own special way. No time. Oh, I'm busy. I don't have time. That's an excuse. Oh, I'm just not organized. That's an excuse. Oh, I'm just getting crickets. That's an excuse. If you're getting crickets, reach out to more people. You'll get less crickets. You have to make your numbers big. Think big. Don't hold yourself back to the minimum, okay? Sorry, my nose is really itchy, and I rewatched my silver video the other day and found myself scratching my nose the whole video. So why does action get results? Think about this. And I find myself doing this too, you guys. Too much planning leads to the tendency to overthink everything. And overthinking everything allows you to come up with reasons why your plan isn't going to work. Stop overthinking it. You guys, the groundwork has been laid. You don't have to come up with any fancy way of doing this. The groundwork has been laid. We know IPA works. We know getting back to the basics works. Do it, and do it big, and do it hard, and go at it full speed as long and as hard as you can, and you will get there. This business requires actions and not thought. That success kit that you got whenever you bought your welcome pack, there was a lot of thought that went into that. They did all of the thinking for you. So literally, if you pull out that quick success guide and you follow steps 1 through 10, momentum is going to happen. Now, that's not to say follow steps 1 through 10 and then stop. Follow steps 1 through 10, and whenever you hit step 10, then go back and start over. Keep working your list, keep making a new list, keep adding to your list. When you take actions, you get results, and the results kickstart enthusiasm and motivation. So we've been talking about making a change. If you think about it, and I think there's a quote like this somewhere, it says, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. That's what lunatics do. They think that they're going to get a different result by doing the same thing over and over and over again. If what you are currently doing is working, then keep doing it. But if what you are currently doing is not getting you the results that you want, make an adjustment. Figure out where you need to adjust. Figure out where you need to move things around, prioritize things differently, organize things differently. Figure out what you need to change and adjust to start yourself on the course where you want to go. And you have to decide, you guys. You have to decide you will do whatever it takes to hit that promotion, to be successful. Sit down with your family. Have a family meeting. Talk to them about needing their support. Talk to them about sacrifices that are going to have to be made. You guys, I haven't put my kids to bed probably half the days this month because I've been doing Plexus meetings or Plexus calls or Zoom calls. So, you know, that's a sacrifice. Of course, I want to put my kids to bed, but I also want to provide things for my kids. I have this dream board that sits up here above my desk, and I know in order to reach those goals, sacrifices have to be made. So really sit down as a family, decide where the sacrifices are going to happen, and make it a team effort, you guys, because that's how you're going to make it happen. Okay, the second thing is mindset. And a lot of you on this call are in my book study, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. If you're not, get this book and read it. Read it on your own. Get a notebook. Take notes as you read it. You guys, this is a game changer. I can already tell you I have a whole different outlook on my business just in the 5 weeks that I've been reading this book. It makes a big difference. Now, just like any self-help book, you can't just read it and put it on the shelf. The stuff that he teaches in this book, you have to do it, and you have to do it every day, several times a day, until it becomes a habit. In order to get the full benefit out of a mindset book, you have to do what it's teaching you. The biggest hurdle we have to jump over in this business is our mindset. This business is 20% how and 80% mindset. And if you have been doing this long enough, you know that that is 100% true. The basics, the IPA, you guys, there's not a lot of twists and turns to that. It's pretty basic. You make your list, you reach out to people, you follow up with them, you train yourself, you train your team, you work with your customers. I mean, that's all pretty basic business stuff. But mindset, the mind games we play with ourselves, you guys, are ridiculous. We can talk ourselves out of doing something before we ever start making a plan for it. Don't do that. Don't allow the negativity. Toughen up, Buttercup. That's what I wrote on my notes. Toughen up, Buttercup. Don't let the negativity in. Be positive and make it happen. And this is a statistic that comes out of that book. 75% of the things that we think and say to ourselves are counterproductive. That is not going to work. We have to be positive. We have to believe in ourselves so that we have better attitudes, we have better feelings, we have better actions, and we get better results. When you win the battle in your head, you're going to win in this business. Get your head right. Believe in the products, believe in the company, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, you guys. You are gold material. Every single person on this call is gold material. And you know what? If you're gold material, you're emerald material. If you're emerald material, you're diamond material. Every single one of you has proven that you can do this. But my question is, do you believe it? I believe it. Do you believe it? There's a bunch of other resources for mindset help. So if you want some of that, shoot me a message after the call's over, and I will send that stuff to you. And the last major point is the method, you guys. I have kind of been looking back in hindsight, and looking at what can we do differently to get people excited to share and to prevent attrition, to prevent people from quitting or stopping. And so I've kind of been looking at how I've been setting up my new ambassadors, and am I setting them up for success, and how can I do that better? So obviously, the first thing that we have to do is we have to recruit people so that we can train them. Recruit and train, and then repeat. And we have to not let ourselves get into management mode. So what you have to do is you have to focus on your personal business first, okay? The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So if you are recruiting people every month, your team's going to follow your lead. So I want you to think for a second. When was the last time you added a level 1 ambassador? 1 month? 3 months? 6 months? If it's been more than a month, then you're getting close to that management mode section. So get back into the recruiting. The more you build that level 1 base wide, the better chances you are of growing big. Level 1 base has to be super wide, you guys. It's a numbers game. There's really no other way to explain it. So the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. Your team will never go faster than you. Now, there is an exception to that rule, and that is if there are more than one Celeste Gwynn in the world, because Celeste Gwynn did go faster than her leader. However, don't put your chips on the table for finding a Celeste Gwynn, because that's going to be a very slim chance. You have to be your own rock star. You have to be the rock star of your own team, you guys. And you know what? If you're the rock star, if you're working the hardest and recruiting the most people on your team, your teammates are going to see that. They're going to get excited. They're going to see the income you're making, and they're going to want it too. So you know what? You're creating your own set of rock stars while working to be the best person on your team. And group momentum starts with personal momentum. So it all comes down to your actions, your activity. The more activity you have, the more activity your team is going to have. So priority 1 is working your personal business, getting new customers, converting those customers to ambassadors, talking to prospects, doing your IPA, reaching out to people. Once you get that stuff done, then you can post on your team page. Then you can post training calls or inspirational things for your team. Then you can help them get on a one-on-one Zoom call with a team member. Then you can help them think of their first post. But work your own business first. Stop putting your customers on the back burner. Stop putting your personal IPA on the back burner. Work your personal business first. Lead by example. Expand your borders. How many of you added a friend on Facebook today? Lacey, Barbara. If you're not adding people on Facebook every single day, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Figure out a niche that you fit in. Y'all, we are very dynamic people. We like lots of different things, and we fit into lots of different groups. Oh, Jackie, do you have a question? Oh, you were raising your hand. We fit into lots of different groups, you guys. I like watching sports. I like doing crafty things. I like gardening. I like my kids. Very dynamic. So find groups on Facebook that you fit into and start making relationships with those people and start adding them on Facebook. They'll start seeing your Facebook posts, and then you can start up a conversation with one of them. If you hit it off with one of them, start up a conversation on Facebook. Plexus will eventually come into the conversation, and there you have a prospect that came from you widening your borders. Every single day you should widen your border. I think I did a flash challenge the other day of adding 20 people to your Facebook. It shouldn't take me doing a flash challenge to make you do that. You guys should be doing that every single day. Have to add people to our network, widen our borders. Talk to people, and I don't just mean on Facebook, you guys. If you're in the elevator, talk to people. Talk to people. Friend them on Facebook. Amy Paul, y'all know who Amy Paul is, right? She's the diamond that has 9 kids that traveled across the United States in a tour bus. I think they called it road schooling. She talks to people everywhere they go. Now they bought a house and they have found a place to settle now. But when they were going across the country, she talked to people every time they stopped at a pit stop, went into a gas station. She talked to people, carried on a full-on conversation with them, and added them on Facebook before she got back on the bus. And that's how she widened her net. That's how she expanded her borders. So Chelsea asked, do you guys add random people? So for example, I'm in a group for my Cricut, which is my little crafty thing that cuts things out. If I see somebody post something that I think is super cute, I'll like it, and then I'll add them on Facebook, partially because every time they post something in that group, it sends me a notification, because obviously if I like the stuff that they're posting, I might want to copy it. So I friend request them. That way I can get notifications when they post stuff in the group, but I also want them to see my Plexus post. Occasionally, I'll comment on something that they post. I'll like stuff that they post that's not in that group, but on their own page. Just widening their net. I think one of the girls that I friend requested is from like New Jersey or something. Do I know her personally? No, absolutely not. So yes, I do add random people because there are places in the Northeast that have never even heard of Plexus. So we need to be doing that in order to expand our nets. Reaching out is non-negotiable. If you want to go gold, you have to be reaching out to people, and you have to be doing it daily. Like I said before, 531 is the minimum. Don't be comfortable doing the minimum. Try to be big, you guys. Try to do things big. And I'm talking, do it big for a month, do it big for 2 months, do it big for 6 months. The average jewel got to emerald in 2 years. And you know what they did? They worked their business, they worked it big, they made sacrifices, and they worked hard for 2 years, and they got to where they wanted to go, you guys. When you're reaching out, here's an example of a message that Amy Paul uses when she's reaching out to people. She says, hey, I know you've seen me blowing up your newsfeed about Plexus. I love it. It's changed my life. Do you have 10 minutes on Thursday to talk? I'd love to tell you about it. End of message. Short, sweet. The person can say yes or say no. She's not going to get offended if they say no. Her number one leader on her team, Brooke something or other, I don't know. I don't remember her last name. She told Amy no 12 times. You cannot get upset about the answer no, and you can't give up on people. You know what Amy did whenever Brooke told her no? She signed up to take Brooke's yoga class. And she started inviting Brooke and Brooke's family to go to the beach with them. She tried to get in contact with Brooke as frequently as possible. She wasn't doing it out of spite. She liked Brooke. She loved her company, but she knew that Brooke needed this business. She needed it after, well, she didn't need the business because her husband's a doctor, but after she had her 5th baby, she was feeling terrible. And so Amy knew our products would help her. Well, her husband, the doctor, also had 12 years of student loan debt. And so when Amy started talking to them about paying off that debt, that was a game changer. And now Brooke Hemingway is her last name, is one of the top diamonds in the company. And obviously Amy is a top diamond in the company because Brooke is on her team. And then also Amy's husband, Eric, is a top diamond in the company. They are the fastest growing team in the company right now. So this stuff works if you implement it. Reach out to people with influence. You know what I mean when I say influence? Like if you're thinking of somebody that when they wear a new pair of shoes, you think they're cute, you go buy them. That person has influence over you. if somebody says, hey, you really have to try this dessert from so-and-so. Well, you know that person's a foodie. They have influence, and 20 people go try this dessert because that person said so. Think about people that when you talk to them, or if you think about talking to them about Plexus, if they make you nervous, that generally means that person has influence. If you are intimidated to talk to them, that typically means that person is influential. If it's not super intimidating or it's not super nervous, you can still talk to them. Obviously, everybody needs help, but be mindful of the people that you're reaching out to, that they are influential people. They're trustworthy. They have integrity. People are going to hear what they say and want to do it too. Think about who you're reaching out to on your list. I wrote, if it makes you nervous, then do it, and do it quick. If you think about them, message them, hit send, and put your phone down before you even have a chance to second guess yourself. 10 to 20 people a day is what Amy Paul trains her team to reach out to. 10 to 20 people per day. She says the person that reaches out to the most people in this business wins, you guys. That's it, period, end of story. You don't have to ask, you don't have to act desperate. Be professional. Make your messages professional sounding. Don't beg, but get the numbers in. That's how things are going to be moving. Now, I think that the attrition part of our team is where we struggle. And I think that comes from a inconsistency in training the people that we sign up. You guys, getting them to sign up is the easy part. That's where it starts. That's where the work starts. You have to train your people. Once you get them to sign up, then it's really, this is where the hard work happens. You get them to post on Facebook. You teach them how to do their IPA. You walk them through the quick start guide in their welcome kit. You show them back office. Getting them started off quickly and correctly is going to be a game changer for the longevity of your team. If somebody falls through the cracks and they turn their stuff off, that's really discouraging. So we want to get them started off right, all of the tools that they need. And you guys, you're going to have to be a little pushy, because I bet not one of you on here wanted to sell Plexus when you signed up. But did I tell you, hey, you need to post on Facebook, you have really good results? But Cassie, what if? I don't care. Who cares what they think? Post on Facebook. Let's see what happens. You have 3 friends. Get 3 friends to join you. You have 3 people that want to get healthy. Be a little bit pushy, you guys. You don't have to be mean about it. But don't just quit. Don't quit nudging that person just because they're giving you a little bit of pushback. Be creative. Figure out ways that they can share Plexus that will ease them into it so that they can get moving. You want them to make money early on so that they're hungry to figure out how to do that again. And hey, maybe I could pay for my products, or hey, maybe I could pay my electric bill. Get a paycheck into their hands early on, and you won't have to worry about them sticking around. Here's another thing, and I talked about this a little bit in the silver call. When you are signing up an ambassador, make sure that they are committed to taking their products for 90 days. If they're giving you a little bit of pushback, then make them a preferred customer until they know whether or not they like the products. But if you have somebody that's like, yes, I will do this for 90 days, heck, I'll do this for 6 months, then that's the kind of person you want signed up as an ambassador. And I'm talking about wholesale here too. If you have somebody that says, well, I want the cheapest price, and you say, okay, well, the cheapest price depends on if you're going to give it 90 days or not. If you're going to give it 90 days, then here's the wholesale price. But if you don't think you want to do it for 90 days, then just have them do preferred customer, you guys. That's going to be a lot less headache for you having to scroll through all those white lines in your back office. And you can still get a decent paycheck for preferred customers. But be mindful whenever you have a prospect, be mindful of where you put them. It's your decision. It's your team. So treat it nicely and work the system so that you have long-term ambassadors on your team, and then the people that are iffy, start them off as a preferred customer. That's why we have that upgrade option, so that if they're loving their products, the very next month they can upgrade to ambassador, okay? Be available. When you sign up a new ambassador, be available to them to answer their questions. You guys, I know it can get exhausting answering the same question what seems like a bazillion times by different people. And Chelsea and Savannah are teacher people here, and so this is probably not exhausting to them because they do it every day with little people. But I'm not a teacher, and so I found myself, even early on in my business, when I was recruiting people and they were asking me a question that I had just answered to somebody else, I was getting annoyed. I'm like, I just answered this freaking question. I don't want to answer it again. Don't do that. Don't do that, because those people are going to quit, and then you're going to say, man, I wish I had somebody asking me a question right now. Man, I wish I had somebody that wanted to work this hard enough to ask me a question. So questions are good, you guys. That means they care. So take the time to answer their questions. Be available. So in order for your new person to be successful, they have to post, you guys. They have to put that first post on Facebook. It has to happen. They're going to say, no, I don't want to do it yet. I'm nervous, because I know a lot of you. I'm looking at you. I know you did it. No, I don't want to do it. I'm nervous. Calm them down. Tell them they are not alone, and explain to them this is what's going to happen. You're going to post a picture of yourself with your favorite product, be it the Triflex Combo, the Slim, the Pro Bio 5, whatever your favorite product is. Post a selfie, because people are going to look at a selfie because it has that person's picture in it. Say something along the lines of, I just started this product, Plexus. I'm so excited to start my health journey. I can't wait to see how I do. My goal is healthy in 2017 or whenever it may be. My friend, insert your name, my friend Cassie told me about it. She's experienced energy. She no longer has sugar crashes in the afternoon. She no longer needs naps. She's able to keep up with her kids. She sleeps like a rock. And she bounced back after baby number 2 within 8 weeks. Who wants to do this with me? It's not who wants to buy this from me. It's who wants to do this with me. Post. So they're going to get comments. People are going to say, well, hey, what's Plexus? What's this? What's that? Your new person is not going to know the answers to that, you guys. And that's okay, because you're going to help them. You're going to tell them if somebody's asking you a question. And what you got to do is you got to watch that post with them, because they're probably going to be a little bit nervous still. When you see people commenting on that, you say, hey, you're getting lots of traffic on there. Why don't you start a 3-way conversation with me and those people, and I'll help you answer their questions. So they're like, okay, so they add Susie and you and her to this 3-way message and say, hey, I just started this stuff. I don't know all the answers, but my friend Cassie has been doing this for a while. She's going to help answer all of your questions. Hey, Cassie, will you tell us a little bit about your story? And then that's where the seasoned ambassador jumps in, tells their story, and fields the questions. Now, do I expect you to do this for 3 months for that new ambassador? No. No. You should do it for about a month until they get their feet wet and they know how to answer some questions and they feel comfortable doing that. And then you move on to the next person. You're probably going to have several 3-way chats going. That's what I'm talking about. Be available. You have to be helpful to your new people, because if we get them started off on the right foot, they have potential to be your strongest leg in the business. So carry the combo and help them get those questions answered. Help them seal the deal, you guys. Help them close the deal. Help them get that person on their website, ordering, signing up. Walk the person through using the website. This is all, I call it trial by fire. Not really trial. Teaching by fire. You throw the person into the fire pit with a water hose and you teach them how to put the fire out while they're doing it. They're in there with you. I know in my job as a nurse, yes, I went to school, but they didn't, as soon as I passed my NCLEX, they did not cut me loose to take care of sick children. I had 12 weeks of training. That's kind of the same thing here. When somebody signs up an ambassador, you can't just shove them to the side. You have to walk them through it, help them through it, get them that first customer, get them that first ambassador, get them that first paycheck. Once that happens, they're going to be ready to do more. And you won't have to be begging people to do stuff. They're going to be ready to do more because they can see it happening before their eyes. Get them on Zoom. Every new person should have a Zoom account because we do 100% of our trainings on Zoom, and we will probably start doing our online events on Zoom. So everybody on our team needs a Zoom account. Go through that quick start guide with them. Just make sure that you help them get into a solid habit of doing their IPA. That is where the gold is, no pun intended. The gold is in the income producing activity. So if we are training our new people to do that income producing activity and we're holding each other accountable to do that, the business is going to explode. So momentum is what we're looking for. Action is how we get there. And helping our new people, onboarding our new ambassadors correctly, that's going to be huge. So I wrote down one other thing that I got out of a video I watched from Amy Paul. And so if you find it difficult to do your reach outs a little bit every day, she recommends getting a power partner. So somebody that does Plexus, getting a power partner, meeting at a coffee shop. The only thing you're allowed to take in is your phone and your Frank's list. And you go in that coffee shop, you set a timer for 1 hour, and you each pick a person on your list, send them your reach out message. When you hit send, you give each other a high five, mark them off your list. Go to the next person and reach out to as many people as you can in that hour. And then you go home. You drink your cup of coffee and then you go home. And then you pick a day for next week to do that same thing. If that's something that's feasible for you guys to do, then do it. Absolutely do it. Get a power partner and work your list. I think that's where you are going to see the biggest growth in your business is by pushing the limit of the IPA, pushing the limit of that reaching out number. So that's all I have as far as content. Do any of you guys have questions? You can unmute yourself. Man, you guys, I did good. It was speedy talk.
I have a question really fast. Do
Okay.
we know if it, you remember when it was kind of, we were having some issues getting the preferred customers upgraded to ambassadors? Has that been fixed?
I've had a couple people upgrade in the last month, and they didn't have any problems.
Okay.
I think where we run into, okay, first of all, we're getting a new back office. That's happening in 2017. Don't get too wrapped up in the glitches because we all know they happen. We all know they're going to happen. Every time we have a special, there's going to be a glitch. We all know that. It's here nor there. We're getting a new back office this year, so I'm praying. Actually, I am praying about it, but it's going to happen. The new back office system is going to be way better and way less glitchy, so we won't have to worry about all of the nitty gritty. But here's the thing: if it does happen, you can three-way call with your own cell phone. You can three-way call customer service and your potential in and listen as customer service is walking them through. And that's what I would recommend doing if you're able to do that, because that way you know exactly what customer service says. Mm-hmm. And if it happens again, you can maybe troubleshoot that way before calling in. Now, sometimes it's a back off, like it's a customer service, like it's something that can only be fixed through like a reset or something. So sometimes it does require a call in, but I recommend calling in, doing a three-way with that person, just so you're hearing what the customer service person is saying to them, just so there's nothing lost in translation there.
Okay.
And yay for a new back office, you guys. I'm so excited about that. Any other questions, you guys?
I have a question kind of with reaching out. So my issue is, I guess, when I message people or even just talk to people like in person, and some, I'll get interest like, yeah, I think I've wanted to try it, but I still don't know. And I know, a lot of jewels say like lead with the business. And so when I bring the business up, I get a lot of resistance. I mean, I had 2 people that I was like, oh my gosh, they want to sign up because they want the wholesale pricing and they're really excited to get started. And then I was like, brought up the great aspects of the business to even just get your own products paid for. And it was like total shut off. Like it was like end of story. And now I can't get any response from them anymore. And I'm like, well, dang, they could have been great customers. And then it's like, not even really, it was just kind of almost casual bringing up the business. And it was just talking about. I know a lot of people are overwhelmed right now by a lot of MLMs, and I'm like, but no, Plexus is the best. But and I don't know if that has a lot to do with it. Just people right now feel bombarded by it.
I think when you're leading with the business, I think that is a great idea. But always leave that customer option open and make sure it's very clear to them. Hey, if you're not quite ready for that, sign up as a preferred customer. That'll give you the best customer discount. Try the products for a month or 2. If you're loving them, we can upgrade you to ambassador. You can get wholesale prices. And if you have any friends or family that you want to have try it, they can order from you and you can get your products paid for that way. And I find that sometimes people like that will be sharing about, like if they sign up as a preferred customer and they start taking it and they start seeing results and people start asking or they start saying, hey, I love this stuff, you should try it. And they're like, hey, my friend wants to order this. Then you say, well, that's great, but time out. If you sign up and they order from you, then you're going to get a paycheck. And it's almost like, oh, like that fast, just that one person, I'm going to get a paycheck. I mean, yes, it might be $10, but that's $10 less you have to pay for your products next month. I think sometimes when we say you can get your products paid for, there are some multi-level marketing companies that pay their ambassadors via product. So for some people, that's not very appealing because they're doing all this work and all they're getting is more product out of it. If you tell somebody you're going to get a paycheck and you can use that paycheck any way you want to, it's actual real cash money, not I'm not going to say the company name, but not product money. That can sometimes make a little bit of a difference to them. So I think it's just you have to be very clear with, hey, you can get wholesale pricing, you can get your products paid for, you can make actual real life money. But if you're not quite ready for that, sign up as a preferred customer and we'll cross that bridge later. It's totally fine to do that. But as long as they know that you're not like only wanting them if they're going to be on your team, like just make sure that they realize that you would be happy to have them as a customer. You would be happy to have them as an ambassador. You choose the path you want to start with, and we'll talk about the rest when we get to that point.
And usually I'm always like preferred customer, but I'm like, okay, well, I need to promote the business more, but
yeah.
And I have a girl who still, she hasn't ordered in a couple of months. She just orders sporadically, still orders retail because we're close friends, still does not believe me that she's not like going to be locked in. Cause I guess I'll just mention the company. She loves Roden and Fields, but she got, she was a preferred customer and she's like, I just kept getting shipments and shipments and shipments and my credit card kept being billed over and over again. And it was a pain to cancel it. And so I'm like, it's not like this. I promise. Or like scared that you're going to trick them into like continuing to get shipments to them. And I'm like, no, you have control of that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that a bad experience does that.
But it is what it is. I'm not going to let that happen. So.
And I don't think you should stop leading with the business. I think it's very much a person thing, and it's a personality thing. Have you guys ever taken the personality colors test or read the book? Mm-hmm. That's a good one to read. And you want to lead with the business, the money-making aspect of it. to people that are looking to make money. And so that's all about their personality. You want to lead with, if you're wanting them to join your team, you want to lead with, oh, I love helping people. I love that I get to stay home with my daughter, but I still get to use my caring, compassionate heart via Plexus because I can help people get healthy and not have to take all these medications, and they can get off some meds and, yada, 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 yada. And you want to talk to the yellows like that. You want to talk to the blue people like, oh my gosh, we just got back from the most amazing trip, or we just got back from the funnest dinner out with my team. I can't believe I get to call this work. That type of thing is going to appeal to the blue personalities. The green personalities, like me, well, I'm a lot of the colors, but the green personalities like me are the people that want like the details. Show me that compensation plan. Tell me how it works. Show me those ingredients. Tell me how this ingredient is going to burn the fat cells off of my thighs. Tell me how that works. So I think getting to know people. Now, granted, Chelsea, the people that we don't know that we're messaging on Facebook, you're just kind of scoping it out, watching for a complaint. That's how you gotta manage those people, because you don't know them personally, so you don't know what their personality is. But the people that you know personally, you can pretty much pinpoint a personality type, and you need to focus, if that's somebody that you want to reach out to, you need to make sure they are seeing posts that are geared toward their personality. So like Lacey, for example, is a blue personality. I tried to give Lacey all these ingredients. She didn't give a rip, but she did ask me where the Hawaii trip was. She did ask me what the Lexus looked like. She asked me where convention was. She asked me all of these things about all of the trips, because she's a blue personality. She likes to have fun. All she wanted me to say was, this is fun, you need to do it. That's all I would have had to say, and she would have signed up that day. But I was too busy greening her with all of my details, and she was like, I mean, is it fun? I'm like, yeah, it's totally fun. So she was like, okay, I'll sign up. So you really have to, that's where that personality, that color personality thing comes into play, is the reaching out. You have to know how to talk to the people that you're reaching out to in order to get them to jump on board. And that's hard. You have to be a very good reader. Not reader, but like a reader of personalities.
That is a good book, though. Yeah, definitely.
Good. Y'all, this is the first day I've had to do a call in my office when it was 80 degrees outside. My armpits are sweaty. I'm going to have to get a fan. I see the fan over Chelsea's head, and I'm like, oh, fan.
I was in the shower, and I was like, I'm sure I can hear it in the shower. I totally couldn't, so I missed like the first.
Does anybody else have any questions or thoughts or input about stuff that we talked about today? All right. Remember that you are your own best motivator. So yeah, you can watch these training videos and get motivated, but you have to keep your mindset right in order for it to continue on. So make sure that you're talking to yourself positively, that you are encouraging your self-belief. You guys, Amy Paul videos on YouTube. Amy Paul, pretty much anything. Bridget Ryan. Rhonda Shaw. Those are three kind of new people that I've been watching on YouTube, and I really like the points that they make.
I think Rhonda Shaw did our gold training at convention last year.
Okay. I wonder if that's recorded. I'm gonna have to watch that. So yeah, if you can find the gold convention training from last year, watch that. That's a good one. Those of you that are going to convention, which I think a lot of you are on this call, kind of start mentally preparing yourself to here's some groundbreaking information. It's really hard to, I mean, you want to go, you want to have fun, you want to be excited. So it's really easy to get wrapped up in just the fun part of it. But go with the intention of learning something that's going to change your business. Go with the intention of finding that one thing that's been missing that's going to turn it all around. And be ready to explain that to your teams. Come back with as much information as you can and get ready to get back to work, because we all know action is what gets things going. So thank you guys for hopping on here tonight. I'm going to let you go. Stop the recording.